When you're in the voice business, your instrument is the microphone. That is the one thing that's going to make you stand head and shoulders above anybody else. Correct microphone technique. Don't just think that you walk up to a microphone and all of a sudden it happens. How many times I've seen professionals they've been major television stars and they've come into a broadcasting studio such as this and they go, well, hello, how are you? It's great to be here. Forgetting that they have not even thought about microphone placement. Now, let me tell you about microphone placement. Each and every microphone has a different pattern. For instance, with this microphone, the pattern would be approximately what I would say a rounder pattern. Some microphones have a kidney pattern, but this is a rounder pattern. When I come to use this microphone, I will say, right, where are the sweet points and where are the non-sweet points of the microphone? For instance, there's a little test, and I call it the P test. Some people say you pop a microphone. I've always disagreed with that. That's a pop. That's a pump. When you start to pump a microphone, it's the air going into the diaphragm, the air going into the internal workings of the microphone, the air going into the internal workings of the microphone and pumping the microphone. So how do you approach that? It's the air, so a good test is just go blow on your hand, pull your hand away to where you don't feel the direct air going onto the palm of your hand. So here, this microphone here, I'll go, and that's about the placement for me as far as the air going into the microphone. And that will stop what I say, the pump. Some people do use a popper stopper, but I always think that that's wrong. The microphones are never really designed to have a popper stopper, and it's usually an inadequacy when it comes to a person with any voice, whether your voice be a big voice, whether your voice be a mid-range or a high voice. Learn to use the microphone correctly. So that's the first thing. So we've talked about the so-called popping or pumping. Another little test I use is the Peter Piper picked a pickle pepper. This is also another way of quickly doing it in case you don't want to go through the routine of the air on the hand. So it's Peter Piper picked a pickle pepper, put it in his pocket and pulled it out and played with it because he was a procrastinator. Pop, 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 pop. So I go, Pete, 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 Pete. If I don't find it pumping, well, again, I've got a pretty good sweet spot on that microphone. Another way for the air is the FUT test. Be careful how you spell that. FUT, 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 FUT. Again, the air coming out of your mouth. So just find how comfortable you are with a microphone. So just get the instrument, learn your instrument, study it. Even if you look at the technical side of it, when you buy a microphone, there's always little pamphlets inside of it. If you buy anything nowadays, you'll find that you'll say, right, how does this work? Well, have a little look at the pattern of the microphone. Learn your instrument. Let's say you're in a symphony orchestra and you play a reed instrument. Well, you learn how the reeds operate in a clarinet and, a saxophone, and you would start to say, right, I have to use the correct reed. I have to make sure if it gets too moist, if it gets too dry. You learn your instrument. Another way, too, is some people will speak direct into the microphone, and you really have to know how to use the microphone if you're going to take the mic head on. The other way is to just give a slight angle. So as again, when you're speaking, the air coming out of your mouth, the words coming out of your mouth with the P's and the F's and all the other things are not directly going into the diaphragm. So they're sort of just skimming across the top a little bit. You will not lose any resonant tone or any quality of your voice. But again, it is correct microphone placement. Know the instrument, love the instrument, and use it wisely.